Chosen one. As you sit here, listening, understand that you are not just a passive observer in this moment. What you are about to hear is not just mere words. It is a revelation, a profound truth that will shake you to your core. You may not fully grasp it yet, but the weight of what is unfolding before you is monumental. This message is not here by accident. No, you did not stumble upon it through chance or coincidence. There is a higher force, a divine plan that has led you here. And now the time has come for you to embrace this truth. You are not like others. You are chosen. The whispers of the universe have carried you to this very moment, and you are meant to hear this. There's something ancient, stirring something that has followed you across time and space, across the centuries, and across the vast oceans of existence. Perhaps you felt it in your heart, a deep, unshakable knowing that you are part of something much bigger than yourself. You have felt the pulse of destiny, though it may have been quiet and distant. But now it is awakening. It is rising within you, stirring your soul and calling you to step into the fullness of your purpose. This is no small moment. The universe is shifting, and your place in this great unfolding is more significant than you could have imagined. Something has been written in the stars for you long before you were born, and now is the time to step into it. The ancient energies that have been waiting patiently and silently are now activating within you. This is a cosmic alignment, a once-in-a-lifetime moment when everything that has come before every ancient prophecy, every whisper from the divine, every secret etched into the fabric of time, has all led to this. It is not by chance that this message has reached you now, and it is not by chance that you have chosen to listen. What you are about to understand is not only extraordinary, it is divine. The action you just took, the move you just made, has been considered impossible by human standards. But to you it felt natural, effortless, like a simple routine. Yet this move, this action mirrors the feats of gods themselves. It is a manifestation of the divine power that courses through you, a power that was once only spoken of in legends, myths, and ancient rituals. And now it is manifested in you. You are not merely performing a task, you are embodying the essence of divinity in motion. The reason for this awakening, the reason for this great shift, is to show you the truth you are here for a purpose far greater than you've realized. You are the living proof that the impossible can become routine, that the divine can walk among mortals, and that the power of the gods is now within your grasp. It's time for you to recognize it. Before we go deeper, I urge you to pause for a moment. Take a breath, feel the energy rising within you, and acknowledge this truth. If you feel the stirrings of something greater within you, then this is your call to act. Hit that like button. Now let the universe know you are ready. Subscribe to this channel so that you can continue to be guided on this divine journey. And leave a comment with the number 11 to amplify the energy of your awakening. You are part of something monumental, and now is the time to step into the fullness of your divine potential. Embrace it, chosen one. The time is now. You may not realize it yet, but what you've just done is nothing short of miraculous. It wasn't a feat of skill or human effort. It was something far greater. You, chosen one, have just performed a move that until now was believed to be impossible for any human. It is a move that has only ever been spoken of in myths and legends, a gesture reserved for gods themselves. And yet in this very moment, you made it seem effortless. Like a daily routine, you moved with the precision and grace that only the divine should possess, shifting energy and reality itself with a simple motion. You see, in this world, humans have long been taught that there are limits that there are boundaries, places where the extraordinary cannot reach. But you, chosen one, have defied these very limits. You've demonstrated something that no one would have ever expected, something that no one thought was possible for a mortal to accomplish. What you have done is assign a message from the universe itself. It is a clear indication that you are no longer bound by the laws that govern the ordinary world. The laws of physics, time, and space no longer apply to you in the same way they do to others. You have tapped into a power that goes beyond the earthly realm. You are in alignment with the divine, and your every action reverberates with its energy. When you moved, chosen one, it wasn't just your body that shifted. It was reality itself. You bent the very fabric of the universe to your will without even realizing it. This act that seemed so natural to you, the precision, the ease with which you executed it, was a glimpse into a truth that only gods were once believed to know. And yet, here you are in your human form, carrying out the impossible with the grace of a divine being. The way you perform this act so effortlessly, as though it was something you had done 1,000 times before, is a testament to the awakening that is taking place within you. You are no longer a mere mortal. You are something far more powerful. You are the living embodiment of the divine. To fully understand the magnitude of what you've just done, we must look back to ancient times, ancient Egypt, a civilization known for its incredible achievements and profound understanding of the universe holds the key to what you've just unlocked. For thousands of years, researchers, gold hunters, and archaeologists have unearthed treasures buried deep beneath the sands of time, massive statues, ancient relics, and mysterious inscriptions that have long puzzled scholars. These artifacts, long forgotten by the modern world, hold a single truth. They depict actions, gestures, and rituals that mirror the very movement you just performed. In the sacred chambers of the pyramids, on the walls of tombs, and within the manuscripts of ancient priests, the gods of Egypt are said to have performed gestures and feats that were beyond mortal comprehension. These movements were seen as sacred, reserved for the divine, believed to unlock cosmic forces and transcend the physical world. The ancient Egyptians believed that certain actions could channel the power of the gods, bending reality and communicating directly with the universe. What you have done, chosen one, is no different. In fact, it is the same. Your action, your movement mirrors those depicted on the walls of these ancient temples. It is a direct reflection of the gods themselves, those whose names have been whispered in reverence for millennia. You have unknowingly tapped into the very same energy that the ancient priests and kings once used to bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine. And in doing so, you have proven that the ancient prophecies, the legends passed down through generations, were not just stories. They were blueprints for your rise. Historians and archaeologists have long puzzled over the meaning of these ancient texts and symbols. How could these gods perform such impossible feats? How could they manipulate time, bend the elements, and communicate with the cosmos itself? These questions have remained unanswered for centuries. But now, chosen one, you are living proof that the answers were always within reach. You have unlocked the ancient secrets that were once thought to belong only to the gods, and you have brought them into the present day. What was once considered myth is now your reality. You are awakening earlier than predicted, chosen one. Long before you were even aware of the power stirring within you, the universe was preparing you for this moment. This awakening is not a coincidence. It is the culmination of everything that has come before. Every step, every breath, every challenge you faced has been leading to this. You are part of a grand cosmic plan, and your rise was always meant to happen. It is not an accident that you have discovered this hidden power within yourself. You were chosen for this time, for this purpose. And now you are stepping into the role that has been waiting for you across the ages. Your actions are no longer just personal. They are shifting the very fabric of reality. You are influencing the course of events on a cosmic scale. What you do next will have repercussions that ripple throughout time and space, affecting not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. The power within you is awakening, and as it does, the world will begin to change. The impossible will become possible, and reality itself will bend to your will. The more you align yourself with this power, the more it will flow through you, allowing you to accomplish feats that once seemed unattainable. This awakening is a cosmic event unfolding right before your eyes. You are part of something much larger than yourself, something that has been in the works for millennia. The universe is responding to your rise. It is acknowledging the divine energy within you, and it is aligning itself to support you on your journey. As you awaken to the power within you, the world will begin to shift. You are not just a passive participant in this process. You are the catalyst for change. Your actions will trigger a chain reaction, setting into motion a series of events that will alter the course of history. You may feel it already, this subtle but undeniable shift. Perhaps you've noticed things happening around you that seem to defy explanation. People, places, and circumstances seem to align in strange and synchronistic ways. This is the awakening process at work, and it is only the beginning. The more you embrace this power, the more you'll see how deeply connected you are to the universe and the divine plan. The cosmic energy that's flowing through you will reshape your reality, helping you to manifest your deepest desires and guiding you towards your highest potential. Chosen one, you have only just begun. The impossible move you performed is a sign of what is to come. This is just the beginning of a much larger journey, one that will lead you to discover even more about the power that lies within you. The universe is responding to your awakening, and soon the entire world will feel the impact of your rise. You are on the path to greatness, and nothing will stop you now. Your actions will reshape the very foundation of reality, and as you continue to awaken, the impossible will become your new routine. As you step into your true potential, chosen one, understand that the move you performed is more than a mere action. It is a manifestation of divine will, a signal to the universe that something extraordinary is taking place. What you have accomplished is not just an act of personal triumph. It is a cosmic event in motion. It is a demonstration of power, grace, and purpose that transcends human comprehension. The ease with which you performed this act, as though it were second nature, is a testament to the deep well of power that has been slowly awakening within you for a long time. It's important to understand that the ancient deities, those beings who once walked the earth and performed feats beyond imagination, were not gods because of their physical strength or intelligence. They were gods because they had access to a power that connected them to the very source of creation. This power, chosen one, is now within you. You have bridged the gap between the mortal and divine realms. The action you performed, though it seemed effortless, was the direct result of this divine connection, and you did it as if it were routine. This is no coincidence. This is your destiny unfolding before your eyes. And the more you realize this truth, the more the universe will begin to align itself with you. The laws that have governed your reality until now will begin to shift, and the impossible will become commonplace. There will be no more boundaries, no more limits. The divine energy that flows through you is infinite, and as you embrace it, you will begin to perform feats that defy the very laws of physics, gravity, and time itself. Your every action will become a living proof that the extraordinary is possible, and you will leave a trail of wonder and awe in your wake. Think back to the moment when you first felt it, the stirring of something ancient deep inside of you. It may have been a subtle feeling, a quiet whisper that you brushed off as a passing thought, but that whisper was the beginning of your awakening. Over time, it grew stronger, and now it is a force you cannot ignore. This ancient power, this divine essence, is not something you have gained. It has always been within you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. You were born with this power, chosen one, and now is the time for it to awaken in full. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs and priests understood the power of alignment with the divine forces that govern the universe. They knew that in order to unlock their fullest potential, they had to align themselves with these forces and act as conduits for their energy. They performed rituals and movements that were designed to connect them with the gods, and in doing so, they were able to perform feats that seemed impossible to the ordinary human eye. They manipulated the elements, bent time and space, and communicated with the divine as though it were second nature. This was the divine power. They wielded the same power that is now awakening in you. The reason these ancient peoples were able to tap into this power was because they understood that the key to unlocking it lay in their connection to the divine. They knew that in order to access the forces that shaped the universe, they had to align themselves with those forces and allow them to flow freely through their being. And now, chosen one, you are doing the same. The move you performed so effortlessly and so fluidly is a reflection of this ancient knowledge. You have connected with the divine energy that has always been a part of you, and now it is flowing through you with unprecedented force. Your awakening is not just a personal experience. It is a cosmic event that is rippling through the very fabric of reality. As you align yourself with the divine, the world around you will begin to shift. Your actions will create waves of change that extend far beyond your own life. The impossible will become your new normal, and what once seemed unattainable will now be at your fingertips. Imagine this: the ancient scholars and philosophers who studied the great mysteries of the universe, from the Egyptians to the Greeks to the Mayans and the Celts, all wrote of a time when the divine would once again walk among mortals. They spoke of a being who would rise, someone who would bridge the gap between humanity and the gods. And now that time is here. You are that being, chosen one. You are the one who has awakened before the ancient prophecies, the one who is stepping into a role that has been centuries in the making. But don't be mistaken. This is not just about power. It's about purpose. Your awakening is a calling. The universe has been preparing you for this moment for eons. The divine forces that have guided you, that have shaped your journey, have all led you to this moment of alignment. You are here to fulfill a purpose far greater than yourself, one that will change the course of history. The actions you take now, the choices you make, will have ripple effects that will be felt across the world and beyond. You are not just a passive participant in this unfolding event. You are the catalyst. You are the one who will ignite the changes, the transformations, the miracles that will follow. You are stepping into a role that has been waiting for you, a role that will redefine the way the world understands the impossible. As you continue to awaken, more will be revealed to you. The universe is responding to your rise, and as you align yourself with the divine, you will see how everything around you begins to align as well. The power that is awakening within you is limitless. You will not just perform acts that defy the laws of nature. You will shape the very fabric of reality itself. Every move you make, every action you take, will be infused with this divine energy. The impossible will become not just possible, but routine. You are stepping into your divine birthright. Chosen one. And as you do, the universe will unfold before you in ways that you never thought possible. Your awakening is not just the beginning of a personal transformation. It is the beginning of a new era. A new era where the divine walks among mortals, where the impossible becomes the everyday, and where humanity's potential is limitless. The world will not be the same because of your rise, and in that rise, the entire universe will be reborn. The time has come, chosen one. This is your moment to step fully into your power, to embrace the divine force within you, and to begin the journey of fulfilling your cosmic purpose. The impossible is now yours to command. What was once out of reach is now within your grasp. Your journey has only just begun, and the world is waiting for you to rise. As you chosen, one took that step, performed that seemingly impossible act, the world around you began to shift in ways that cannot be ignored. It wasn't just an isolated moment of power, nor was it something limited to those in your immediate presence. Know what you did reached beyond the boundaries of your personal space, rippling through the very fabric of reality. In a single flawless movement, you sparked a chain of reactions that would reverberate across the globe. This was not just a feat of strength or precision. It was the emergence of a divine force, and the world took notice. Across continents, from the ivory towers of scholars to the palaces of world leaders, eyes were on you. The energy you released in that single action was so potent, so beyond human comprehension, that even the most seasoned observers found themselves speechless. Experts in every field, be it science, history, or spirituality, witnessed the event in awe, struggling to grasp what had just unfolded. To them, it was not just an act of extraordinary skill or talent. It was something that transcended everything they had ever known. It was as if the very laws of nature were being bent and rewritten in real time. The world's most powerful leaders, those who command armies and nations, were among those who saw it. From their distant vantage points, they watched with a mix of awe and fear, unsure of what they had just witnessed. The impossible had occurred in front of their eyes, and it was undeniable. Some stood frozen in disbelief. Others rushed to mobilize their advisors and experts to understand what had just happened. But no one, no matter how knowledgeable or influential, could fully comprehend the force you had just unleashed. In secret chambers and hidden councils, elites from every corner of the world whispered amongst themselves. They understood the gravity of what was happening. The old world was fading, and something entirely new was emerging. They recognized that you, chosen one, were not just an individual performing extraordinary feats. You were the embodiment of something divine, a force that was rising and changing the very nature of existence. The reaction was swift. From the highest echelons of power to the hidden corridors of spiritual academia, all eyes were on you. And in those eyes, they saw not just a human being, they saw the awakening of a divine force, the likes of which had not been witnessed for centuries. As the events unfolded, it wasn't just the people who witnessed it, who felt the shift. Even the very air seemed to change. Time itself appeared to bend and stretch in response to your presence. The atmosphere grew thick with energy, as if the universe was holding its breath in awe of what had just happened. For those who stood nearby, the sensation was palpable. The air felt charged with an unseen force, a force that seemed to emanate from you in waves, vibrating with an intensity that could not be measured or contained. The subtle vibrations in the atmosphere were unlike anything ever experienced before. The shift was not just a physical one, it was a cosmic recalibration, and the entire universe responded. Observers spoke of a profound stillness, a quiet that descended over the scene. It was as if the world had paused for a moment, holding its breath in anticipation of something monumental. People who had witnessed the event described feeling an overwhelming surge of energy as if the universe itself had taken notice. There was no denying it. The event you had set into motion was not merely a spectacle. It was a divine awakening, an event of such cosmic significance that even the most rational minds struggled to put it into words. Scientists, theologians, and philosophers alike stood in awe, struggling to comprehend the magnitude of the shift that had just occurred. But even more striking than the physical sensations experienced by those in your presence was the reaction of the very forces of nature. The winds seemed to change direction, the temperature shifted ever so slightly, and the light that bathed the scene took on a golden hue. It was as if the natural world itself was responding to the cosmic forces you had invoked. The sound of the wind, once a gentle breeze, now hummed with an electric vibrancy, as if the world itself had become attuned to the divine presence you carried. Even the stars above seemed to shine brighter, their light a reflection of the immense energy you had unleashed. What you did. Chosen One was not just an action. It was a conversation, a silent dialogue between the mortal and the divine. In that moment, you spoke without words, and the universe listened. The move you performed was not just a physical gesture. It was an ancient language, one that transcended time and space. It was a divine language understood by the cosmos that resonated with the very foundations of creation. The world may not have understood it in the way you did, but the universe itself recognized the significance of your movement. In that moment, you were not just acting as a mortal. You were channeling a divine energy that spoke directly to the forces of the universe. This language, however, was not meant to be heard with the ears. It was felt. The energy you released reverberated through the very fabric of existence, and those who witnessed it felt it in the depths of their souls. It was a language of creation, a language of divine will, and it left no room for doubt. It was as if time itself had stood still, waiting for this moment to unfold for the divine to speak once more. The observers, whether they were aware of it or not, felt a profound shift in their very beings. They were not merely spectators, they were participants in a cosmic event. They were witnessing the embodiment of divine power, a force that had been waiting to reveal itself. What you did, Chosen One, was a reflection of the ancient rituals once performed by the gods themselves. The movements you made, the precision with which you executed them, mirrored the sacred dances, the divine gestures, and the celestial rituals that had been passed down through the ages. In that moment, you became the living embodiment of those ancient practices, performing the divine language of the gods with ease, as though it were second nature to you. Your actions were not just symbolic, they were a direct communication with the universe, an exchange between the divine and the mortal. And though those who witnessed it may not have fully understood what had just occurred, they felt it. They felt the divine power that radiated from you. And in that moment, they understood that something far greater than themselves had taken place. The divine language you spoke with your movement was one that transcended comprehension. It was a language that connected everything, a language that spoke directly to the heart of the universe itself. In the aftermath of this event, the world began to shift in ways that no one could have predicted. It wasn't just the reactions of world leaders and scholars that began to change the very fabric of reality seemed to respond. The ancient myths, the prophecies, the sacred texts, all of them began to resonate with new meaning. What had once been considered allegorical was now being seen as literal truth. The divine had spoken once more, and the world had heard it. As the observers reflected on what they had witnessed, they began to see connections to ancient texts that they had long ignored. Historians dusted off old scrolls, and scholars revisited forgotten manuscripts. What they found was staggering. The actions you performed had echoes in every corner of human history. From the ancient Egyptians to the Greeks, from the Sumerians to the Mayans, every culture had foreseen the rise of a being who would embody the divine in human form. And now that being had arrived. What you did, Chosen One, was not just a single act. It was the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. It was a sign that the world was on the brink of something new, something unprecedented. You had performed a move that not only defied the laws of nature, but also bridged the gap between the mortal and divine realms. Your actions, though they seemed ordinary to you, were in fact the beginning of a new era. The universe was responding, and the world was forever changed. And so the divine language you spoke, through your actions, your movement, your very being, began to echo across time. It was a language that spoke of transformation, of awakening, of divine purpose. And as the world listened, they began to understand that they were witnessing something far greater than a mere human accomplishment. They were witnessing the rise of a new divine force, a force that was changing the world one movement at a time. As the echoes of your divine movement reverberated throughout the world, the implications of what had transpired began to take shape in a much grander context. What you accomplished was not simply an extraordinary physical feat, nor was it just an isolated moment of brilliance. No, Chosen One. What you did was a reflection of something far older, far deeper. Your actions mirror the very movements of the gods themselves. You did not merely mimic their gestures. You became the living embodiment of ancient rituals, an agent through which divine power flowed with the same grace and precision as the gods of old. In the sacred writings of ancient Egypt, in the intricate hieroglyphics that line the tombs of pharaohs, we find depictions of gods performing extraordinary feats, gestures that were said to harness the very power of the cosmos. These movements were more than just symbolic. They were considered sacred rites actions that could bend reality and bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine. The ancient Egyptians, revered for their wisdom and connection to the universe, understood that there were certain divine gestures that only gods could perform, movements that required not just physical skill, but an alignment with cosmic forces. And what you did, Chosen One, was a living manifestation of these sacred rituals. When the ancients wrote of gods who could raise the heavens, who could command the elements, who could shape the fabric of reality itself with a single gesture, they were speaking of you. The legends told of movements so precise, so potent, that they could awaken the stars themselves or summon the winds to carry the will of the gods across the earth. These sacred gestures were not to be taken lightly. They were reserved for the highest beings in existence. And now, as you stand here today performing the impossible with effortless grace, you have become the embodiment of these ancient powers. The divine movements that were once written in stone, etched into the sacred walls of pyramids and whispered through the annals of history, are now being lived by you. You are not simply acting out these gestures. You are channeling the energy that they represent. The divine rituals that were once thought to be inaccessible to mortals are now flowing through you as naturally as breathing. You are the living embodiment of those ancient gods, and what you did was not just an action. It was the manifestation of an ancient power that has been waiting for this moment. You are awakening the very forces that govern the universe in times long past. What once seemed unattainable has now become a part of your reality. The realization of this truth is nothing short of awe-inspiring. The gods were not just symbolic figures in ancient myths. They were representations of divine energy, of cosmic order of forces that transcended human comprehension. The movements they made were not mere performances. They were acts of creation, of transformation of divine will, manifesting in the physical realm. And you chosen one are now performing those same acts. What you did was more than a simple gesture. It was a cosmic event, a moment in time when the boundaries between the mortal and the divine were shattered. You may wonder, chosen one, why such an act as yours carries so much weight. Why does the world react so strongly to a move that to you felt so simple? The answer lies in the cosmic significance of your actions. The move you performed was not just a physical act. It was a reflection of cosmic order. It was a movement that resonated with the deepest energies of the universe, aligning you with the forces that govern existence itself. What you did was a manifestation of divine law of the eternal rhythm that underlies the fabric of reality. This is where the true power lies, in the understanding that what you performed was not simply a human action, but a divine one. You, chosen one, are not just a mortal moving through the world. You are a conduit through which cosmic energy flows. Your every action, every thought, every intention reverberates through the universe, shaping reality itself. What the world saw in that moment was not just a human being performing an incredible feat. They saw the universe itself in all its beauty and mystery made manifest before their very eyes. The act you performed was a moment when the boundaries between the divine and the mortal blurred. It was a moment when the cosmos bent to your will and the impossible became tangible. You were not merely going through the motions, you were channeling divine energy, expressing cosmic truth through your every movement. The universe itself recognized this alignment and responded accordingly. In that moment, the world was reminded of its own potential, of the power that lies dormant within each of us waiting to be awakened. The impact of your movement, chosen one, was not limited to the immediate physical surroundings. Those who witnessed the event, whether near or far, felt a profound shift in the very air around them. What they saw was extraordinary, but what they felt was even more powerful. They described a strange warmth, an energy that seemed to emanate from you, surrounding them in a soft golden glow. This wasn't just a fleeting sensation. It was an overwhelming emotional experience that connected them to something far greater than themselves. It was as if the very presence of the divine had entered their lives, filling them with awe, reverence, and a deep sense of unity with the cosmos. For many, this moment was life-changing. They felt as though they were witnessing the unfolding of something they had only read about in sacred texts or heard about in legends. The warmth that radiated from you wasn't just a physical warmth, it was a spiritual one, a heat that connected them to the divine source, to the truth of the universe that transcends all understanding. People spoke of feeling a deep emotional connection to the cosmos itself, as though for that brief moment, they were no longer separate from the divine, but an integral part of it. Some witnesses even described the energy as alive. They felt it moving through them, filling them with a sense of purpose and clarity that they had never experienced before. Their hearts seemed to beat in time with the cosmic rhythm, and their minds felt attuned to the universal truths that had long been hidden. For some, this moment marked the beginning of their own awakening. It was as if the divine spark within them had been ignited, and they were now seeing the world in a completely new light. But it wasn't just those who were physically present who felt the shift. Across the globe, the effects were felt in ways that defied explanation. There was a palpable change in the energy of the world, a subtle but undeniable transformation that rippled through every corner of existence. People who were far from the event felt a deep sense of connection, as though the divine presence had reached out to them, stirring something deep within their souls. It was as though the very fabric of the universe had recognized your presence and responded accordingly. This was not just an isolated event, chosen one. What you did was not just witnessed by those in your immediate vicinity, it was felt by the world. And it was felt in a way that went beyond words, beyond logic. It was a sensation that connected the observer to the divine, to the timeless forces that govern creation. Your movement, your act, your divine gesture rippled through the very fabric of reality, awakening something within every being who felt it. You are no longer just an observer of the universe, you are a part of it. And through your actions, the universe itself has recognized you as its equal. The world will never be the same, chosen one. You have awakened something ancient, something profound, and the energy you have unleashed will continue to reverberate through the cosmos for all eternity. Your actions have bridged the gap between the mortal and the divine, and in doing so, you have shown the world what is possible when we align with the forces that shape the universe. As the divine movements you performed ripple through the fabric of reality, the world is left to grapple with the enormity of what has occurred. What was once seen as impossible, the feats you have so effortlessly carried out, now stands as undeniable proof that the boundaries of human capability are far more expansive than we once believed. To those who witnessed it firsthand, your actions defied not just logic, but the very laws that govern our understanding of the world. Gravity, time, and the physical realm as we know it have all bent in response to your power. What was once thought of as unattainable, inconceivable, has now been transformed into your new reality. Scientists, those ever-diligent seekers of truth, have been at the forefront of this bewildering phenomenon. As they observe you and document your every move, they find themselves unable to reconcile what they see with what they know to be true. They have always relied on the structure of laws, rules of nature, and physics that govern everything from the fall of an apple to the rise of the stars. But in witnessing your actions, they are forced to confront the undeniable fact that there are forces in this universe that transcend human understanding. The once impossible now seems like an ordinary occurrence, a daily part of your existence. What you have achieved has shattered long-held beliefs about the limits of human potential. And this is only the beginning. You, chosen one, are not bound by the limitations of the physical world. Where others stumble, you soar effortlessly. Where others are constrained by time, you manipulate it with ease. Gravity no longer tethers you to the earth as it does with the rest of humanity. Time itself bends to your will, and the laws of physics, which have served as the foundation of our understanding for centuries, appear to falter in your presence. This is not an exaggeration or an illusion. It is a reality that scientists are now forced to face. They have long held on to their knowledge of physics, their understanding of biology, chemistry, and human limitations. But what you have demonstrated is something beyond their comprehension, something that shifts their entire worldview. You are not just performing miraculous feats. You are demonstrating the true potential of the human spirit, a potential that has remained hidden for millennia. As the scientific community comes to terms with the reality of your actions, scholars from every discipline are revisiting ancient texts and historical records that had long been dismissed as myth or allegory. The ancient civilizations, Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and beyond, left behind traces of their understanding of the cosmos, the divine, and the human connection to the sacred. These ancient records were once viewed through the lens of myth-symbolic representations of ideals and moral stories. But now, as your actions unfold before their very eyes, these ancient texts are being re-examined with a new perspective. They are no longer just stories. They are prophetic records that have been speaking of you all along. The ancient Egyptians, with their deep understanding of cosmic forces, depicted gods performing feats that we would now call impossible. These gods were said to wield power over time-space and the elements. They moved through reality as though they were not bound by the same laws that govern us. They bent the heavens, summoned storms, and manifested miracles at will. In their temples and tombs, they etched their movements into the stone, leaving behind a record of their divine actions. For centuries, these carvings were considered symbolic representations of power and divine will. But now, in the light of your own actions, they are being seen as blueprints for what is happening today. The hieroglyphs and ancient artifacts that were once thought to be allegorical illustrations are now being understood as literal depictions of divine power that is manifesting in you. The prophetic records that spoke of a being who would rise and perform the impossible, who would bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine, are now coming to life. You are the fulfillment of these ancient prophecies, the living testament to the divine that was always meant to emerge on this earth. The artifacts that were unearthed by archaeologists, relics long hidden beneath the sands of time, now hold a new significance. They are not just historical artifacts. They are markers of a cosmic truth that has now come to pass. What was once believed to be a myth, a story passed down through generations to explain the unexplainable, is now being revealed as a true account of divine action. The ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, the Greeks, and countless other civilizations spoke of a time when the gods would walk among mortals once more. They wrote of a being who would embody their power, who would perform miracles and awaken humanity to its divine potential. And now, chosen one, that being has arrived. You are the one who has awakened these ancient prophecies, the one who is bringing the divine back to earth. Your very existence is a testament to the fulfillment of these ancient visions. The world is watching, chosen one, and the response has been nothing short of overwhelming. From every corner of the globe, from the most revered religious leaders to the most respected scientists, the reaction to your emergence has been a mix of awe, fear, and reverence. There are those who stand in wonder, witnessing your every move, with eyes wide in disbelief. There are others who, in the face of the extraordinary, find themselves questioning everything they once knew. And then there are those who feel a deep sense of reverence, a recognition that something profound is happening, something then that will change the course of history. Religious leaders who have spent their lives interpreting sacred texts have found themselves stunned by the alignment of your actions with the divine. They see you not just as a human being, but as an incarnation of the divine, a living embodiment of the very forces that govern the universe. For many, this is a moment of spiritual reckoning. They have long believed in the possibility of a divine being walking among mortals, and now that belief is being realized in you. There is an undeniable sense of sacredness surrounding you, and the world's spiritual leaders are calling attention to this fact. They understand that what you are doing is not just personal power, it is divine power channeled through your being, and they recognize the sacred responsibility that comes with it. Academics, too, are responding to the historical implications of your rise. Scholars are revisiting their textbooks, questioning the very foundation of their disciplines. What they once thought was impossible, be it in the realms of physics, biology, or history, is now becoming an undeniable truth. The academic world is in shock as their understanding of reality is being turned upside down. The feats you perform are not just miraculous, they are a challenge to the very laws that they have spent their lives studying. And while some may resist or try to explain away what you are doing, the undeniable reality is that the impossible is now routine for you. Governments, too, are watching closely. Political leaders, who have always been accustomed to controlling the narrative and manipulating power, are now faced with a new reality. A force has emerged that transcends human authority, and this force cannot be ignored. Some leaders may feel threatened by your power, while others may see you as a symbol of hope and change. Either way, they understand that the world is entering a new era, one where the divine has taken center stage and where humanity is being called to awaken to its highest potential. As the world watches you, chosen one, the reactions are as varied as they are profound. Some feel fear, for with your power comes the potential for both great transformation and great upheaval. Some feel awe, for they see in you the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, the arrival of a being who will bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine. And some feel reverence, recognizing that what is unfolding before them is nothing short of miraculous. No matter the reaction, one thing is clear: the world is changing, and you are at the center of this transformation. The impossible has now become possible, and the universe itself has begun to bend and shift in response to your rise. Your actions are no longer just personal, they are cosmic. And as the world watches in awe, one thing is certain: nothing will ever be the same again. As the shock waves of your actions reverberate across the world, the implications become ever clearer. What you've just demonstrated is not just a moment of extraordinary power. This is a profound transformation that touches every aspect of existence, from the smallest particle of matter to the largest forces in the universe. What was once deemed impossible, be it bending the laws of physics, defying gravity, or manipulating time itself, has now become a part of your routine. The significance of this is not just philosophical or spiritual. It is deeply scientific, shaking the very foundation of our understanding of the cosmos. For centuries, humanity has been confined by the laws of nature. We have relied on the principles of physics, mathematics, and biology to explain our existence and understand the universe. We believed that reality was governed by these immutable laws, that what we could see, touch, and measure was all that was possible. But you, chosen one, have shattered this worldview. You have stepped beyond the boundaries that science and history have defined. The feats you have performed, once thought to be the stuff of legends, the preserve of gods and mythological beings, are now real, tangible, and undeniable. And with each action, you take the line between what is humanly possible and what is divinely ordained continues to blur. As scientists observe you, they are being forced to confront the truth. Their entire understanding of the world is incomplete. The laws of physics that they've studied for lifetimes are being rewritten before their very eyes. When they look at you, they see not just a person performing incredible feats, they see the universe itself bending to your will. This is not a matter of a few unusual coincidences. This is a fundamental shift in how we understand reality. The impossible is becoming routine, and the world of science is left scrambling to catch up. Researchers in every field are studying you, analyzing the data, and attempting to explain what they are witnessing. The measurements they take, whether in the realms of gravity, energy, or time, are completely inconsistent with the models they've spent generations developing. Where their equations, once predicted, limits, you are demonstrating limitless potential. Gravity, for example, once thought to be an unyielding force, no longer holds you in its grasp. You have surpassed the constraints of time and space, performing actions that defy all known laws of physics. And yet there you stand, living proof that the universe is far more malleable than we have ever been taught. This is not just a fluke chosen one. This is a paradigm shift, and you are at the center of it. As more scientists study you, more data will pour in, data that shows the world we thought we knew is far less stable than we imagined. The laws of nature are not as rigid as we believed, and you are living proof that we are capable of so much more than we have ever dared to dream. The impossible is not beyond reach. It is within us, just waiting for the right moment to be awakened. And that moment is now. As the scientific community tries to make sense of the transformation you've set into motion, scholars of history, theology, and ancient civilizations are doing the same. Ancient texts and prophecies, once dismissed as myth or allegory, are now being reevaluated in light of your actions. The gods of old, once thought to be purely symbolic, are now being seen in a new light. The divine gestures that were described in ancient texts, the miracles attributed to the gods, and the rituals depicted in hieroglyphs and sacred writings are no longer distant abstract concepts. They are the living reality of what you have just manifested. The ancient Egyptians, for instance, left behind intricate carvings and inscriptions that describe gods performing feats that transcend the human experience. These deities were said to command the elements, to manipulate time, and to walk among mortals with powers that defied understanding. For centuries, these accounts were viewed as metaphorical stories meant to convey spiritual or moral truths rather than physical realities. But now, as scholars review these texts, they are finding striking parallels between the ancient depictions of gods and the feats you have performed. The movement you made, the very act that the world is still struggling to comprehend, is described in precise detail in these ancient texts. The gestures you made mirrored the divine actions of Osiris, Horus, and other gods who were believed to hold dominion over the universe. And in this realization, the myths of old are being resurrected as literal truths. As these ancient prophecies come to life through your actions, a new understanding of history begins to unfold. The ancient civilizations that once spoke of a divine figure, a chosen being who would bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine, were not simply spinning tales. They were foretelling the arrival of you, an extraordinary individual who would rise up not only to fulfill these ancient prophecies, but to surpass them. Your existence is the culmination of millennia of waiting, of ancient knowledge preserved in texts and artifacts now rediscovered by modern scholars. The world's reaction to your emergence is as diverse as it is profound. From every corner of the globe, people are witnessing what you have done, and their responses are a mix of awe, fear, and reverence. To some, what you represent is a beacon of hope, a new era in which humanity can break free from the constraints that have held it down. To others, your rise is a source of fear, for with great power comes great uncertainty. But no matter the emotion, one thing is clear: the world has changed, and there is no going back. Religious leaders who have long taught of divine intervention and the coming of a Messiah-like figure are now pointing to you as the fulfillment of these long-held beliefs. They see you not just as a human being, but as a living embodiment of the divine. In their eyes, you are not just an exceptional individual, you are the chosen one, the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, the one who has arrived to lead humanity into a new era. For many, this realization brings a sense of peace and purpose. They recognize the divine presence in you, and they understand that this moment is one of cosmic importance. In contrast, some of the world's political leaders are uneasy. The power you possess threatens the very foundations of human authority. For centuries, world leaders have relied on control and manipulation to maintain their power. But your presence introduces a new force, one that cannot be controlled or predicted. Some see you as a challenge to the established order, a force that could reshape the balance of power on a global scale. They are scrambling to understand how to deal with you, how to comprehend the scope of your influence, and how to respond to a being whose existence undermines everything they thought they knew about the world. Yet, despite the fear that your rise may provoke in some quarters, there's also a profound sense of reverence. People who once questioned the existence of the divine, who dismissed the myths of old as mere fantasy, are now witnessing the impossible unfold before them. They are feeling the stirrings of something larger than themselves, something ancient and eternal, and they are being reminded that there is far more to reality than meets the eye. Your actions, chosen, one, have awakened something deep within humanity, a recognition that we are all connected to forces much greater than ourselves. This is not just about what you have done, but about what your actions represent. You are not merely an individual performing extraordinary feats. You are a living bridge between the divine and the mortal. And as the world watches, it is beginning to understand that we are witnessing the dawning of a new age, an age where the impossible is not only possible, but routine. The world will never be the same for you, have shown us the truth that we are capable of greatness beyond our wildest imaginings, and that the divine is not far off, but very much within us all. In the unfolding narrative of existence, chosen one, you are not merely a figure among many. You are a symbol of something far grander, far more profound. Your presence is the embodiment of a divine force, a cosmic evolution that has been quietly progressing over eons. Every action you perform, every move you make, is not simply an act of personal power. It is a reflection of universal energies, a manifestation of the very principles that have governed the cosmos since time immemorial. These principles, understood by the ancients and whispered about through myths and prophecies, are now being revealed in real time through you. What the world is witnessing is nothing short of extraordinary. You are the living embodiment of cosmic energy. You are the bridge between the mortal and the divine, the one who has unlocked the mysteries of the universe and is now channeling them into the world around you. You are more than just a person performing miraculous feats. You are an avatar of a much larger plan, a force that is transforming the course of human history and shaping the destiny of all who witness it. Throughout ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Greeks, the Sumerians to the Mayans, there were stories of divine beings who would rise from the earth, bringing with them the knowledge and power to change the course of history. These beings were seen as avatars of cosmic forces, divine entities who carried the essence of universal truth and divine purpose. They were not mere mortals. They were the embodiment of a higher reality sent to guide humanity toward its highest potential. And now, chosen one, you are living proof that these ancient prophecies were not mere myth. You are the fulfillment of those divine visions, the one who has emerged to fulfill a purpose that has been written in the stars for centuries. As the world watches you, chosen one, something incredible is happening. The very fabric of human perception is shifting. People once blind to the deeper truths of existence are beginning to awaken to the possibility of their own divine potential. Through witnessing your actions, they are reminded of the power that lies dormant within each of us. What was once seen as impossible, the feats you perform so effortlessly, has now become a symbol of what humanity is capable of achieving. Your actions are not just demonstrations of divine power. They are a mirror reflecting back to humanity its own untapped potential. Where once people saw themselves as limited by their physical form or bound by the constraints of time and space, they now see a new reality unfolding, one where the boundaries of human capability are far more expansive than they had ever imagined. Your presence, your movements, and your very being have awakened something deep within the human consciousness, a recognition that we are all capable of so much more than we have ever allowed ourselves to believe. The awakening of the Chosen One is not just a personal journey, it is a collective one. As you rise into your divine potential, so too does humanity begin to rise. People across the world are being drawn to you, not just because of your extraordinary abilities, but because of the reminder you offer. They see in you what they have forgotten in themselves, the spark of divinity, the power to transcend limitations, the ability to reshape reality. Your presence is a catalyst for human evolution, a signal that the time has come for us all to step into our higher selves and embrace the divine potential within us. And this shift in perception is not just limited to those who are directly witnessing your rise. It is spreading like wildfire. Across cultures, religions, and belief systems, there is a growing recognition of the divine forces at work in the world. People are beginning to question the old narratives, the outdated beliefs, and the systems that have held humanity back for so long. They are starting to see that the world is not as fixed and immovable as they once thought. The rules of reality as they were once understood are being rewritten, and humanity is awakening to the possibility that they too can be a part of this divine transformation. The emergence of the Chosen One marks not just a personal awakening, but a cosmic recalibration. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has begun to align itself with deeper divine principles. Principles that have been in place since the dawn of time, but were long forgotten by humankind. These principles are the foundation of all creation, harmony, balance, unity, and the interconnectedness of all things. They are the laws that govern not just the stars and the galaxies, but the very essence of life itself. And now, Chosen One, you are a living embodiment of these principles, a force that is guiding humanity back into alignment with the cosmos. This recalibration is not just a shift in human consciousness, it is a shift in the very fabric of reality. As you step into your divine role, the universe responds by realigning itself with the truth that has always existed beneath the surface. The cosmic forces that govern the flow of life, the ebb and flow of energy, the cycles of birth and death, these forces are now being reawakened, and they are flowing through you. Your actions, your energy, your very presence are stirring the universe, reminding it of its original purpose and guiding it back to a state of balance and harmony. As humanity begins to recognize this recalibration, they will also begin to see how deeply connected they are to the universe. The realization will spread that we are not separate from the cosmos. We are a part of it, intricately woven into its fabric. And as each person begins to align themselves with these deeper divine principles, they will experience a shift in their own lives. The world will no longer seem like a random series of events. It will begin to unfold with purpose, meaning, and divine direction. The recalibration is not just a return to the old ways. It is a progression into something greater. Humanity is being called to awaken to its highest potential, to transcend the limitations that have held it back, and to step into a new era of creation and evolution. The divine forces that have been waiting for this moment are now being channeled through you, Chosen One. And as you continue to rise, so too will humanity. The universe is recalibrating, and humanity is being called to join in this cosmic dance. Each person, by aligning with the divine principles that are being revealed through you, will unlock their own potential and become part of this great cosmic symphony. The world is on the verge of a transformation unlike any other, and you, chosen one, are the catalyst. Your rise is the spark that is igniting this cosmic shift, and as you continue to awaken, so too will the world around you. The emergence of the chosen one is the beginning of a new era, an era where the boundaries of human potential are no longer constrained by fear, doubt, or limited thinking. It is an era where humanity begins to understand its connection to the divine and aligns itself with the cosmic forces that govern the universe. As the chosen one, you are the living embodiment of this shift, and through your actions, you are awakening humanity to its true potential. What you have shown the world, chosen one, is that the impossible is not only possible, it is within our reach. You have demonstrated that the divine is not distant or separate from us. It is within us waiting to be awakened. Your actions, your movements, and your very presence are a reminder that we are all capable of greatness beyond our wildest imaginings. The time has come for humanity to rise to awaken to the divine potential that has always been a part of us, and to step into the role we were always meant to play in the cosmic plan. The universe has been waiting for this moment, and now, as the chosen one steps into their power, humanity is invited to join in the cosmic dance. The recalibration of reality has begun, and the divine forces are once again in alignment with the true purpose of creation. You are the harbinger of this new era, and the world will never be the same. The impossible is no longer beyond us. It is now our new routine. And as humanity aligns itself with these divine principles, there is no limit to what we can achieve. The universe is waiting. It is time for us to step into our divine destiny. As we reflect on the path that has brought you here, chosen one, we come to understand the profound significance of your existence. You are not just an individual performing extraordinary feats. You are a living testament to divine potential. Through you, the universe has manifested its highest truth, that the divine is not a distant force or a realm far beyond human reach. No, the divine exists within us, and you, chosen one, are living proof of this. You have bridged the gap between mortal existence and divine essence, showing the world that humanity has the power to transcend its limitations and align with the cosmic forces that govern all of creation. Every action you have taken, every movement you have made, serves as a glimpse into the vast potential that lies dormant within all of us. You are not merely a symbol of what is possible for one person. You are the embodiment of what is possible for all of humanity. What you have shown us is that there are no limits, no boundaries, only infinite potential waiting to be awakened. Your actions have demonstrated that we are all capable of performing the impossible, of transcending the physical world and aligning ourselves with divine energy. This is the legacy of the chosen one, not in a single move performed, but in the awakening of a greater truth that resonates with every soul on this planet. You have become a beacon of hope, a living example of the transformation that is possible when we align with our highest potential. The true legacy of the chosen one goes far beyond any single moment or act. It lies in the profound shift that you represent. Your very existence is a catalyst for change, a force that is inspiring others to awaken to their own latent power. What you have demonstrated is not just about power or miracles. It is about transformation. It is about stepping into a higher reality, a divine existence that lies within each of us. You have shown the world that we are capable of more than we ever thought possible. And this is your gift to humanity. You, chosen one, are a living, breathing symbol of humanity's untapped potential. Through you, others are beginning to see that they too can step into their divine purpose. Your actions have ignited a spark in the hearts of those who witness them, inspiring them to awaken to their own power, their own divine essence. They too are beginning to recognize that they are not bound by the limits of the physical world. Like you, they are capable of performing the impossible, of transcending the limitations of the mortal realm and stepping into a higher state of being. Your legacy is not just the shift you've brought about in your own life. It is the awakening you have sparked in others. You have shown the world that transformation is not only possible, but inevitable for those who choose to embrace their divine nature. But this is not the end, chosen one. It is just the beginning. The era of transformation is now. Your journey has only just begun, and your role in this cosmic awakening is crucial. The world needs you now more than ever. Your actions have already begun to shift the world, but the true impact of your existence is yet to unfold. There are others, just like you, waiting for the awakening that only you can bring. You are not just here to fulfill your own destiny. You are here to lead others to theirs. The message of divine awakening is not just for you, it is for all of humanity. And it is up to you to share that message. As you move forward, chosen one, recognize the magnitude of your existence. Understand that your rise is not just a personal journey, it is a collective one. You are not just the one who has awakened. You are the one who will awaken the world. The power you carry within you is not just for yourself, it is for all of humanity. Every step you take, every move you make, ripples out into the world, creating waves of change and transformation. And as you continue to rise, you will inspire others to rise with you. Together, you will bring about a new era, one where the divine is not separate from the human, but an integral part of it. The world is waiting for the transformation that you are leading. The time is now, and the power is in your hands. It is your responsibility, your privilege, to lead the charge and awaken humanity to its true potential. You are the chosen one, not just because of your extraordinary abilities, but because you are the catalyst for the great cosmic shift that is unfolding. And as you step into your purpose, you will help others awaken to theirs. The journey has just begun, and the world will never be the same again. Now is the time for you to embrace your divine calling, to step into your power, and to share the message of awakening with those around you. Your role is crucial. The world is waiting for the transformation you will bring. And as you rise, so too will humanity. The divine is awakening within each of us, and through you, we are all being called to rise. The time is now chosen. One, your moment is here.